Okay, so we really are live now? All right. So welcome, those of you joining us online, joining us here in the sanctuary of the Center for Spiritual Living here in Granada Hills, California, where we welcome all who practice their beliefs and faith and love. Granada Hills is in the North San Fernando Valley, and we are experiencing our version of winter, which means it's all the way down to 50, which qualifies for springtime for the rest of you in the U.S. But anyway, it's been lovely weather, and as you can see, we've decked the halls, and we have the Christmas lights out front, so we're celebrating Festivus for the rest of us, as Jerry would say. And so we're going to get started here by inviting our presider tonight, who I'm going to ask to hand me the, there you go, thank you. I appreciate it. All right, and so now we're ready to get started. So welcome, Maria, Rosalie, and those of you at home, let's start by taking a deep, conscious breath and just releasing. And feel the release of the day. Just feel the day following behind us as we allow ourselves to anchor ourselves in this moment, this eternal now moment, as we come together for our call to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. That fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this evening. So as Beverly lights that first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. The fourth candle we light for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. The fifth candle we light for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. The sixth candle we light for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. The seventh candle we light for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And the 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here in our sanctuary, within our online community, and of course within our own hearts. And as Beverly lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love. So Brenda Lee and Elizabeth.
I'm thankful, so grateful. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. trust in God. I surrender, I surrender. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender. I trust in God.
If you take this time to turn within, to be still, just breathe in. I believe there is one presence, one power, one cause that I call God. God is love, peace, harmony, perfection, and grace. I recognize my unity with all that is. I honor the presence in me. God is the love that I am. I am one with God. My eyes see the good in all. My ears listen without judgment. My heart is full of love. My mind is open and expands with receptivity and understanding for what is mine to know. My hands are ever available to do what is mine to do. I am so thankful for the love that flows easily and joyously. I am grateful for the spiritual truth illuminating in all of my being. With great love and thoughtful meditation, I release these words to the universal law, knowing that all of these details are taken care of. Let us affirm, and so it is. Amen. It is so warm and wonderful to be here this evening. I love this time. I look forward to it. I'm full of myself, and I want each and every one of you to be full of yourself as well. So this evening, I'm going to talk to you about belief. I believe that there is something greater, higher, and special. I believe in people, and I know that's hard for many to conceive and accept, but I'm going to say it again. I believe in people. I believe in humans, beings. I believe in all of God's creation. Above all, I believe in Beverly. I believe in myself. I believe I create. I believe I can create the life of my dreams. What I believe influences the way my life unfolds. While my beliefs cannot make something happen, nor can it keep something from happening, they do. My beliefs, your beliefs, do influence how I live. My beliefs, me believing in something greater and in myself, influences how I live. And what we believe, each one of us does influence our life. I am a spiritual being, an expression of God. I believe that within me is the fullness of my inheritance. All I could ever need, I create most fulfillingly within my life because I believe. I can't stress that enough. Our founding father, Ernest Holmes, it's all about you have to believe. Jesus, the example, not the exception. You have to believe. You have to believe in yourself. If my actions are at odds with my beliefs, I don't despair. Correct grammar. I do not despair. Guided by spiritual wisdom and understanding, I transform my limiting beliefs by denying their power over me. I affirm the divine ideas of faith and strength. I define and affirm the divine ideas of faith and strength. What does that mean to each one of you? Contemplate it, think on it, meditate. I invite each of you to affirm the divine ideas and faith and strength daily. For some of us, every moment. These ideas flourish in my consciousness and become the beliefs that reflect the truth of my being. My affirmation today. Today I allow myself to simply be. I breathe in, I breathe out, knowing that God is breathing with me in the stillness of this moment of faith and strength. I believe. Do you believe? A quote from Science of Mind, page 498. Faith in God and in ourselves should be consciously generated. All trouble comes from disbelief in the universe, followed by wrong acts, which are the results of unbelief, disbelief, and ignorance of the law of good, which is a law of liberty. The lesson is simple enough. When we ask for anything, we are to believe that we have it, but we are to ask for that which is in unity with life. Science of Mind, page 498. Love, peace, and harmony. I invite you all to believe each and every day in the truth of your being. Without further ado, I will provide you with some announcements. There are quite a few, but I'll try to gleam over but simplify and be precise. As always, practitioners are available at CSLGH.org if you're in need of prayer or someone to speak with you. Please reach out. There are practitioners available. On Sunday, 1 p.m., there's the Zoom Healing Support Group Also, the Law of Attraction group, 1 p.m. on Zoom. Upcoming events, Wednesday, December 14th. For those of you who would like to participate, and I do hope it's each and every one of you, the deadline for gifts, mom and dad, to support families in need at the North Valley Caring Services. Please provide anything you would like to donate in that manner for that cause. Sunday, December 18th, our wonderful choir. We will have a choir Sunday with our Christmas service with a holiday potluck. Bring your children for a wonderful holiday event. December 24th at 5 p.m., the Sepulveda, Unitarian Universalist Christmas observance starts at 5 p.m. in the sanctuary at our center. CSL, Granada Hills members and friends are invited. Christmas Day, there is no 9 a.m. service. Please join us at 10:30, service only. Come all ye faithful and join Dr. Mike as we get our Christmas on grand man style. Merry Christmas. And Saturday, December 31st at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, in-house YouTube World Peace Meditation Service. Join millions of people as we meditate simultaneously as a global community, knowing peace for all. December 31st at 6 p.m. There are some question marks, but we're going to go. And if there's clarification, maybe Reverend Mike can. Drum in the New Year with Melissa, Al, and Reverend Kathy. And then going forward into the new year. January 1st, Burning Bowl Releasing Ceremony. Set yourself free in 2023 by releasing the old stuff that no longer serves you. See you all, 9 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. Again, love, peace, and harmony. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Beverly.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, so this is the last week. If you've been meaning to bring in donations, this is the last week. And I have to say, it doesn't take a big gift. So I just went over to, what's that not Home Bodies, Home Goods. And I've found like 6 gifts for around $10 for dads and moms, right? Because remember, it's a little kid giving a gift to a parent, so it doesn't take much. And those discount stores have nice things that have been steeply discounted still. So if you're planning on doing that, Sunday's the last day, because I'm going to take everything over next week so that they have enough time on their end to get them ready for the kids and the parents. So it's unfortunately we can't go. So in years past, we get to go over to North Valley Caring Services with the Boy Scouts, and we help the kids gift wrap these gifts for their parents. And so with this, hopefully this is the last lap of the COVID experience. And so next year we can do that together in community. And then next week, next Wednesday night, Brian Lotman happens to be in town. And he just reached out to me last minute, said, hey, I'm going to be back in town. So he's going to be in next week. He's bringing his harmonium. And so he's going to lead us in chanting a lesson within the Hindu tradition and meditation. So he's, well, Brian's just a very sweet guy, and I like hosting him, and I think you'll appreciate. So it's a good time to come in next week. You know, we're all spread out. You don't have to worry about catching a bug in here. There's plenty of room. You can even wear a mask if you choose to. All right. So tonight and for the month of this month, I've been working with this book, Path of Wonder, A Meditator's Guide to Advent by Ellen Grace O'Brien, who is a poet, teacher out of the Kira Yoga tradition. She runs the Center for Spiritual Enlightenment up in, I think, Santa Rosa area. Anyway, she's a dynamite. I'll just share one of her poems with you. You see what I mean. This is a short poem that she's written. The moon reminded me. So in the heart is a well filled with the sound of silence. Drink from it. One taste changes everything. How do I know? The day I stopped sitting on the edge and fell in told me this. And the heart is a well filled with the sound of silence. Drink from it. One taste changes everything. How do I know? The day I stopped sitting on the edge and fell in told me this. Isn't that nice? Yeah. So she's a great writer. And I wanted to share this with you today because she talks about the great paradox of spiritual awakening is that is often spoken to about as and represented as a journey. And people rightfully ask, why a journey? Why must we travel to arrive at a destination we never left to discover that which always was so? And yet a journey is indeed a fitting description. While there is no physical journey required, we must make a passage in consciousness from the darkness of ignorance to the light of truth. The darkness of ignorance to the light of truth. So this ties nicely into this season, whether you want to acknowledge it as a season of Advent, but certainly it is the solstice season as we are moving each night, getting just a wee bit longer than the last as we move into the 21st, and then we work our way into days or nights that are shorter and days that are gradually longer, from darkness of ignorance to the light of truth. We journey to a higher state of conscious awareness, from being falsely identified with the body and mind to realizing our true nature as eternal spirit. This pathway of awakening is universal and is the trajectory of everyone's life. We are all on this journey, whether we recognize it or not. It is the inevitable destiny of every person to realize the truth, because our lives are inseparable from the life of God. What we truly are will be revealed. What is true does not remain hidden. Patanjali's Yoga Sutras state that life's purpose in this material creation is to experience it and find freedom from it. To experience it and yet find freedom in it. We are here to experience, enjoy, and find liberation while in the world. We can come to see that all we do in light of life's highest goal of self and God realization, that inner work of the soul is always attempting to rise to the surface of our awareness. So it's always going on, right? our work is to know that, to develop an awareness of it, and then in cultivating that awareness, to bring that into our life experience. The activity of divine grace beckons us to awaken to the sacred nature of life. So I don't want to read this whole thing, although it's very good, and I've been meditating and contemplating these things to my great benefit. But, she's speaking to the common theme within these daily exercises is because the way that we do this time of year in the West, we are often so preoccupied with the busyness, particularly when our families are younger and we're really kind of getting into the family thing, or if we have grandchildren, right, and we're creating this magical experience for them, or maybe even just the activity that goes into having a house full of guests, whether you're related to them or not. That it's scurry, scurry, hurry, hurry, and we can really get ourselves worked up into a state. Certainly, if we have a lot of, if on top of all of that activity, we have a lot of expectations. And so this is a way to just kind of step away from that, to understand that, this too is part of the life experience, to suck the joy out of the marrow of that experience, as Thoreau would say, and to find places within it to stay serene, to find serenity even within the sometimes frantic moments. And so these are the quotes that she offers up for contemplation, and maybe you can think about this as we're meditating tonight. Rise up nimbly. Rise up nimbly and go to your strange journey to the ocean of meanings. The stream knows it can't stay on the mountain. Rise up nimbly and go on your strange journey to the ocean of meanings. The stream knows it can't stay on the mountain. That by the Sufi poet Rumi. And then this from Luke, and so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished, that she should be delivered. And this from the Upanishads. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of truth. Lead us from death to immortality. How can I bring more awareness to the inner journey as I move through the activity of my days? And then how are our choices supportive of our life journey of freedom? Do they support liberation or lead to unnecessary complications or even bondage to things or situations? Well, those are, big questions for any life. And one of the things that we work with in this particular teaching that we call religious science or the science of mind, that in the beginning, we're just looking to create some space in our life through spiritual mind treatment, which is a two-pronged operation. One is to really work on cultivating an awareness of spirit as a living presence, as a living energetic, a harmonic, of love itself, that is activated in our own lives by our recognition of it, and that we are one with it, that there is nothing to earn but only to realize. And that as we become more clear about what it is that what we want, many of us focus on what we don't want, but when we become clear on what it is that we want to experience in life, then we can co-create through the power of our focused thought and the power of our word, co-create with this creative impulse of life to affect change for good in our life and the lives of those around us. And that's a good thing. So one of the ways that we can work on this focus, because the mind loves to be distracted. The ego loves to contemplate itself. And so by focusing on the breath, focusing on sensation within the body, we narrow the mind activity to single focus. That creates a sense of, first creates a sense of peace and serenity within, but then staying with that, then some interesting experiences have the potential of revealing themselves, where we fall into that well of silence. So let's just start by taking a deep breath in and release as we prepare ourselves for this meditation time, getting ourselves comfortable in our seat, getting out our wiggles and jiggles and maybe even giggles. And so we're sitting attentively with strong posture, but free of tension. So we're not forcing anything, we're not forcing the breath, not forcing ourselves to breathe in a particular way. Allowing the belly to rise and fall naturally. Bringing our attention to the movement of the breath in the nostril. We see that the mind begins to still. And should we find that we get hooked by a thought thread, we just take a deep breath and release and go back to focusing the movement of the breath in the nostril. Then paying attention to the exhale. that's available. See if you can detect the movement of your breath on your upper lip. Just move with the flow of experience as it presents itself. Observing, releasing. So let's take a deep breath and release as we move into the silence now for about 15 minutes. staying with the breath. Imagine with me a flame at the very center of your heart. This flame representing the seat of the divine, the light of spirit within. So with each in-breath now, as we remember that the Spirit is everywhere present, that we then are breathing Spirit, that it is breathing us. So we are breathing in the light of Spirit, breathing into this heart center, fanning the flame of the divine within, breathing in light and love, truth and beauty, harmony, compassion. And exhaling that which is no longer needed, that which is unlike the perfection of Spirit expressing. So this flame of the divine now growing with each in-breath, expanding with each in-breath. Beautiful luminous ball of fire at our heart center, a fire that illuminates rather than consumes, radiating light and love, staying with the breath, this ball of light now, expanding the inhale and the exhale. In the same way that we would inflate a balloon, it's now extending this ball of light and love, extending beyond the body, torso, side to side, front to back, top to bottom. Staying with the breath, this energetic of light and love, that we're now sitting in it, that we feel at every level of our being an alignment, a quickening. So we align with this pattern of perfection, with this light and love, the divine extending now. That we're creating this field of light and love within the sanctuary, extending even beyond space and time to those meditating with us online, even in future time, where the Spirit is not bound by any such notions. So that we know within the body temple that we are aligning now with this energetic, aligning with this vibration, that every atom, every molecule, every cell, every organ, every muscle, sinew, bone, all the various systems of the biological body are now demonstrating as this pattern of perfection that has been aligned with the energetic of the living Spirit. That we feel a lightness within our body. and a sense of radiant good health that we breathe into that and release. That within our hearts now we feel an expansion of the heart, that we feel an overflow of love and life within, love and light within our heart center, that we call forth our loved ones whom we hold most dear, both present and those whom we've known in the so-called past, knowing that it is all one life expressing. So we feel the eternality of love and its expression, and also its connection with the source of all love. So we bring into this light and love those with whom we may be feeling entangled or in discord in any way, that we just know that the tangles are now easily and effortlessly unwound, and that there is an expression of light and love in its highest form. So we breathe into this and we release. And so we feel an enlightening within the mind itself, that we are open and receptive to that creative intelligence, the power and presence, the creative impulse of life, that we are now open and receptive to new and dynamic ideas, to any seeming challenge that is in front of us, that we know that we are open and receptive to being intuitively guided to the solution that is already in place. And that as we capture this idea, whether it is in this moment or in the moments to come, that we step into this solution confidently, knowing that this solution is unfolding with clarity, focus, grace, and ease. And even if it's not available to us in this moment, we are now opening the mind to capture this idea, whether in dream cycles or in moments of insight in the days to come. And so we breathe in the confidence and the gratitude of knowing this is so. And so then we just know that, generally speaking, for the flow of life, that we are in this divine right action, the divine flow of life itself, that we know that there is nothing, no obstacle that befalls us, that the crooked ways are made straight, and that we are intuitively guided to meet all the seeming challenges of life, of the season, of relationship, of our business activity. All of it is unfolding in clarity, focus, grace, and ease. And we just take a deep breath and release that. And just knowing that we're releasing all of these notions from that place of knowing that there is but one power, one presence, one source, one life, one living intelligence, the spirit of many names, that it is love itself in expression, that we are open to its full and complete demonstration in, through, and as our life and the lives of those around us. That we know that in this conscious unity with the One, that our heart's desire now is set forth, that we are releasing all our cares, concerns, intentions, and affirmations of good, releasing all of it, taking a deep breath and feeling the release, knowing that this is now in confidence, and deep gratitude is released now to that aspect of the mind of the divine that knows only to say yes as the law of its own being. So we just release it to its divine activity with confidence, knowing it is done. And so we make our way through the rest of this evening, finding our ways home in safety and in good order as we make our way through the rest of this evening, arriving to our beds and with our head hitting the pillow, we drift off easily and effortlessly to sleep, dreaming sweet dreams, awakening, feeling restored and revitalized, full of vim and vigor and an excitement for the day, that we step into the day knowing that our life is a demonstration of the living Spirit. So breathing into that. And release this final release now, knowing in deep gratitude. Gratitude for this meditation time together. Gratitude for those who are supporting us in this activity of meditation. Grateful for a spiritual community of like-minded people to share. Love expressing as life. We just simply release it now. We let it go. Let it be so. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. And so, I gave Ellen Grace O'Brien a plug. Now I'm going to give myself a plug. For those of you who may still be on, I do have a book out, and it is the season for giving. So if you know someone who could use a little spiritual kick in the backside, it's a good little book to help them do that. So we're going to be online 10:30 on Sunday morning. We meet in person at 9 a.m. If this is your first time joining us, please hit the subscribe button and that notification bell, and it'll tell you anytime we have something going live here. Thank you for your continued support here for our Center for Spiritual Living. This is Reverend Dr. Michael McMorrow and friends here in the sanctuary saying good night, sweet dreams, peace and blessings, and we'll see you next time.